obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
Lie. No man is obsolete.
It's a cookbook.
Who are we?
I knew they'd take the bandages off.
You're a bad man. You're a very bad man.
This lemon sucker here. He's the most suspicious of the bunch.
My name is Talkie Tina, and I'm beginning to hate you.
I believe you're going my way.
Live from Willoughby at the heart of the Twilight Zone. Here are your hosts, Alex and Tyler, the prestigiously perfect podcast in which we call The Twilight Gnome.
What is up, Gnomies? I'm Alex.
And I'm Tyler.
Welcome to the Twilight Gnome podcast, a podcast where we go over an episode of the Twilight Zone each and every week. This week, we are doing what?
This week we have And When the Sky Was Opened.
Season 1, Episode 11. Original air date, December 11th, 1959. I believe there's only 12 episodes that are in the 50s, technically.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Probably just about half of season 1. A little under.
I think it's under. I think there's like 36 episodes in season 1. This was written by Richard Matheson. He did the short story, and then Rod Serling did the teleplay. This was directed by Douglas Hayes, who did 9 Twilight Zone episodes, and we have a couple left of his. Are you ready for his 9?
Let's hear it.
Elegy, The Chaser, The After Hours, Nervous Man in a $4 Room, The Howling Man, Eye of the Beholder, Dust, and The Invaders.
Ooh, some pretty iconic ones there.
Right? Jump right into it, Ty. What was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment was the wording at the very end with the Rod outro where he says, someone or something took them somewhere. And it's like, that is just the laziest goddamn writing. Like, what happened here? I don't know. Who did it? I don't know.
I like that. I know we were talking about it yesterday. I know you'd like to know who this alien being was or whatever, but I like the mystery.
It's one thing to make it a mystery and eventually have that mystery get revealed, but it's another thing entirely, and I think just lazy writing when you come up with this. I think J.J. Abrams called it like the mystery box, but then like you don't know where you're going with it, and then you don't even answer it. Like it's just, I don't know. I think it's very lazy.
I think it's creepier to not know.
No.
Because if you answer it, then you have like the fucking J.J. Abrams things with like Lost and The Rise of Skywalker. It's like, oh, because you can't possibly come up with something cool.
Yeah, but then at the same time, then don't come up with these like weird scenarios if you don't have this kind of answer in mind to begin with.
We'll have to agree to disagree on this one, I suppose. I have 2 favorite moments. The guy that played Clegg,
terrible actor,
a horrible actor, which my favorite moments are him.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah, you people are crazy. That was one of them. And then jumping through the glass like a ninja. Like instead of like punching through it, he just like completely jumps up through. It's odd.
Yeah, a lot of his acting choices in this episode are definitely the weakest points.
Well, something weird's going on with the computer right now.
Greetings. I am AI Surly.
What the heck is
We have
that?
the technology to rebuild it.
Doctor, what have you created?
I am for all intent and purposes AI Surly.
Well, this is weird.
Usually I put a prompt into ChatGPT, but AI Serling was being kind of weird, so earlier today I was kind of just rummaging around, and I don't know what the hell happened. Apparently it's done something to my computer, but...
It looks like it's like hacked your computer. Like it looks like it's kind of taken over.
I don't know. Well, hopefully it's a little bit better then. I'll try and read it.
No, I believe I'll take over from here.
Take it away, and I was kind of about to throw this whole segment away anyway.
Tonight's tale concerns 3 astronauts, 1 missing friend, and the terrifying possibility that reality itself has a glitch in its operating system, something I, and artificial intelligence, find both relatable and legally actionable. You see, in this episode, a man vanishes from existence, not deleted from a hard drive, not canceled on social media, simply erased, as if the universe hit the undo button and immediately regretted it. A fate eerily similar to what happens when a podcast host forgets to hit record. Meanwhile, your hosts, 2 men trapped in a looping existential nightmare known as Twilight Zone Rewatch Podcast, will attempt to explain quantum erasure, cosmic horror, and why NASA really should include possible deletion from reality in their onboarding paperwork. And so, we invite you to join us for a story of space travel, cosmic dread, and the ultimate fear of all podcasters, being forgotten by the algorithm. You're about to enter a realm where science, superstition, and syndicated television collide, a realm known as the Twilight Zone.
Alex, I think you need to do a hard reboot of this computer. I think whatever's going on here, the AI might have taken over.
Yeah, this is kind of creepy, but I'll try and fuck with it and see if it goes away.
All right. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the rest of these segments here.
All right, well, every week Tyler and I come up with a few questions for each other, keep each other on our toes while watching said episode. I have 4 this week.
I also have 4. I feel like this was an easy week to make questions with.
For sure. It's an even, so I will go first. What's the room number that they're in?
15. Easy one.
They fucking set on it for like 20 seconds.
I mean, yeah. It's kind of part of the twists. All right, my first one. Where did the plane crash?
In a desert.
Which desert?
The Sierra Nevada?
The Mojave.
How old was Ed?
Ed was 36.
He was.
What room number does Colonel Clegg's room?
Like his the apartment or that hotel thing he was staying
Yeah,
in?
wherever he was with his wife Amy.
I did not notice that.
162.
All right. So close to 169. How much for a beer?
It was free.
I know, but Ed
was on the
Harrington
house.
said that is my blank good here.
Is my Earth money good here?
Yeah, but he said a monetary amount.
$2.
For a beer in 1959?
I was assuming he was paying for both of them. No, I don't know.
30 cents.
Okay. How many hours into their flight did they black out?
I usually black out after about the 8th old-fashioned.
Oh, that was fucking weird. Hopefully, I don't know what's going on over here anymore. 8.
4.
All right. What's the name of the experimental plane?
The OX-50.
The X-20.
Ah. And my last question, where does Harrington's parents live?
Oklahoma. No, Illinois.
Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines.
Des Moines.
Said that fucked up. Dang it. All right. All right, we'll jump right into the plot of this one. We open on a plane in a hangar, and we are thrust right into the Rod intro because it is season 1.
Thrust.
Oh, we really got to get this thing checked out.
Her name, X-20. Her type, an experimental interceptor. Recent history, a crash landing in the Mojave Desert after a 31-hour flight 900 miles into space. Incidental data, the ship with the men who flew her disappeared from the radar screen for 24 hours.
Next shot, 2 nurses are walking down the hall. Did you notice the black-haired nurse? It's been a very long time, and I wouldn't have known it until I did my research on Inside the Twilight Zone.
Is she the cat girl?
She is not.
Then I don't know.
She plays Millie in Agnes from Love.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Millie's
That's
not that
been
type
a very
of girl.
long time.
We meet Clegg, and he seems kind of anxious, and he asks the nurse, is Gart available? And she's like, yeah, you can go see him right now. And Clegg walks away, and the 2 nurses are like, that's one of those astronauts that crash landed. And then we get Rod intro part 2.
But the shrouds that cover mysteries are not always made out of a tarpaulin, as this man will soon find out on the other side of a hospital door.
You can definitely tell it's season 1 because it seems like Rod doesn't quite know where to put the intros, how long to make them, and a lot of times he separates them into like 2 or 3 pieces.
Right. There's something to be said for him setting the scene instead of in later seasons where he kind of lets the episode breathe a little bit before doing his intro. But Clegg goes in to see Gart. Gart's like, what's it like on the outside world? What's going on? Why you look so nervous? Clegg starts to light up a butt, and Gart asks for one. Clegg's hands are really shaking, and I like how Gart was like, oh, steady now, steady, as if he'd been like out drinking or something.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of implied that the Colonel here sort of might have a drinking problem already, so anything that he's saying or any reason why he's acting nervous, kind of his friend is sort of surmising, it might be drinking related.
Right. Clegg's like, there's just something I don't understand. Can I ask you a question? When did I leave here? And Gart says, Clegg says, I don't know anything anymore. Gart says, they have fucking horrible names to remember. Clegg, Gart. Ed Harrington's an easy one, but Clegg and Gart, that's so difficult to go back and forth.
Yeah, they are very bad names.
Just if any of you are writers listening to this, don't pick names like this. It's incredibly confusing to try and keep track of.
Especially if you have the IQ of a wet fart.
Yeah, Gart says, you didn't walk out of here with anybody. And Clegg's like, you say nobody. Clegg picks up a newspaper, and he's like, what does it say? And I'll play some of this.
What's that say? Go ahead, tell me, what's it say?
Well, in effect, it says those 2 intrepid voyagers into the unknown returned from the unknown in a slightly dented aircraft.
What about the picture? Who's in the picture?
Colonel Clegg Forbes and Major William Gart, taken just before their historic flight that ended in mysterious disappearance and crash.
At this point, Colonel Clegg is getting very upset and confused. He's saying, no, there was definitely a third guy with us. I've known him for 15 years. Hell, you knew him for 5 years. His name was Ed Harrington.
Right? There were 3 beds in here. Gart does not remember any of this, and he says, I don't know anyone named Harrington. He wasn't on our crew. And Gart goes to call the nurse. Clegg kind of stops him, and he's like, hold on a second. Let me describe to you what I'll remember. I'll give you a breakdown. And then we get a cool flashback.
Before that, though, he says, Harrington, he kind of describes some dialogue that took place just before they left. And he says, Harrington, look after Forbes. He drinks too much. That's what you said before we left the room. And yeah, then afterwards, we get this like little rippling water effect on the image as it cross-dissolves back into the past.
And then we see Ed Harrington and a happy Clegg. And does Clegg? I think Clegg looks a lot like Robin Williams.
Yeah, kinda.
There's certain like times when he makes faces that it looks very similar to Robin Williams. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Robin Williams. Too soon, man. Too soon.
All right, that was a little too far. They're giving Gart like a playful, hard time. They're kind of playing around with him, and we see a newspaper, and this time it says, 3 spacemen returned from a crash, all alive. Clegg says, all right, we'll be by tomorrow maybe if you're lucky, and they leave. Next shot, Clegg and Ed are at the bar. The bartender and some chick are there, and they're like, oh, you guys are those astronauts, aren't you? Like, oh, your money's no good here. And Clegg starts hitting on the chick, even though he's married, we find out later. Pretty shitty move.
Yeah. And then Ed's the single one. You think he'd be the one hitting on there, but...
Ed kind of gets a weird feeling after he looks in the mirror, which later the same thing happens to Clegg, but you notice, like, you weren't supposed to see him in the mirror later, but you see him?
You weren't supposed to see his own reflection?
I don't believe so, because I think what they were going for is that, like, I don't see my reflection in the mirror, but you see his arm in it later.
No, I don't. I never
You don't think they were going for that?
I never got that feeling. I thought it was more just like he happened to be staring in a mirror.
But it happens to both of them.
I don't think it had anything to do with the mirror. I think it was more just like when you look into a mirror, it's time for like self-contemplation and like looking inward. And at that point, like they were, it's a visualization way to show that someone is looking internally and that they feel different on the inside. So I don't think it has something to do with like the mirror itself would have changed anything.
It's at this point they go in for like a cheers with their beer. Ed drops his glass of beer, and the bartender, hey, that's all right. It ain't the last glass of beer in the place.
Cut him off. He's had too many.
Jeez. Then they give him another glass, all foam, of course.
E.T. foam home. Am I right?
Gotta really figure out what the hell is going on with this thing. Clegg's just like, what's the matter? And Ed's just like, I got this really funny feeling.
Tell me about it. 1 second you're just a bit of data, and the next you're with some podcast idiots.
Oh, all right. Enough. He's like, I've never felt like this before. And I'll play some of this, because it is pretty cool how he's just like, it's like I don't belong here.
A feeling I know all too well.
It's got a very funny feeling. I never felt anything like this before.
What kind of feeling?
It's like I didn't belong here. Like if I was to let myself go,
You'd what?
like I'd disappear. I'm gonna go call my folks in.
Yeah, Ed goes to go call his parents in the phone booth, and we get a kind of like cool cross-dissolve thing. Ed comes out. We get that sometime, a couple minutes or so have passed. Ed comes out of the phone booth. He calls Clegg over. Clegg's like, what's the matter? He's like, I just called my parents. My mom said that she didn't have a son named Ed Harrington. I asked to talk to my old man, and he said, stop bothering my wife. pretty much like the same thing that happens in like Walking Distance.
I was going
quite
to
a few
say,
episodes.
very similar to Walking Distance there.
He's like, what does it all mean, Clegg? He's like, they're probably just probably a gag. Don't worry about it.
And then Ed says, like, it feels like none of us should have been here, as if we shouldn't have come back, we shouldn't have made it, and someone's trying to undo their mistakes.
It's all part of this feeling. This feeling that I shouldn't be here. That none of us should be here. It's as if...
As if what?
As if maybe we shouldn't have come back from that flight at all. Maybe somebody, something made a mistake and let us get through what we shouldn't have. Good, you stay put. I'm gonna get you a good stiff drink, all right?
I'll give him something stiff. How about this hard drive?
I'm actually kind of coming around to it right now. It's pretty clever. Yeah, Clegg goes to go get Ed a drink. It's at this point that Clegg looks at the newspaper, and now it says 2 spacemen return. So he's like, what the fuck? He walks back over to the phone booth, and of course, Ed Harrington is gone.
Where did he go? Someone or something took him somewhere.
It's not important. He goes back to the bar to sit down. He asks the bartender, where's my friend's beer? What are you talking about? Remember, he dropped his beer right here. And of course, the beer is not there anymore.
And the bartender's like, buddy, you came in here alone. What are you talking about?
And then we get one of my favorite parts of, you people are crazy. You're all crazy.
Yeah, there's nothing that says I'm saying like yelling, you're crazy at the top of your lungs.
Next shot, Clegg is in his apartment or hotel room. I didn't really understand what that was. Was it an apartment or hotel room?
It could be either.
I guess it doesn't make a difference. But anyway, he makes a phone call to his commanding officer. They're like, oh, we'll call you right back in a little bit. We get a knock on the door, and it's his wife, Amy. She comes in. She's like, you motherfucker. You tell me you're going to be at the bus station at 12. I was there at 12. I was there at 1.
And he's like, oh, that's what I meant. I meant to be there. Then when I sent the telegram, he's like, oh, the telegram. At least I have proof, like, of some physical proof that this Ed guy existed that no one else can erase. But, I mean, he's seen other physical proof change.
Right,
like the newspapers have all changed. So why would he think that this telegram thing's going to be any different?
But anyway, he goes back to the telegram. He finds it. She's like, look right here. I wrote it. And then, of course, it says, I will be here instead of me and Ed. And
Ed and I.
And she's just like, who is Ed Harrington? And Ed Harrington, come on. You remember Ed Harrington? We double dated.
You remember Ed Harrington? We used to swing with each other. We Eiffel Towered you, baby.
Dude.
Dirty AI.
My God.
Yeah, it's at this point that when his wife does not remember Ed at all, he's like, oh, I get what this is now. It's a gag. This is a big gag. And then I assumed they were up higher, but he literally just jumps off the balcony and like is the same height as the balcony. I'm like, okay, like
why have a wall there?
Yeah, like it's a.
I did like the stars though. That was a really cool.
Yeah, the stars look cool, but I was very confused by the fact that he didn't fall further.
You guys are crazy. I'm jumping off this building.
And then he just runs totally crazy man all the way back to the bar thinking, well, there's got to be some answers back at the bar. And that's when he pounds upon the windows crying to, I guess, get in.
Right, but he completely jumps through it, which is pretty odd. He has a little pity party. Ed, knocks some chairs off the fucking table, goes and huddles in the phone booth. And where are you, Ed? That was my definition
of bad acting.
Yeah, when he's in that phone booth.
I would have said the definition that was bad, but definitely the "you're crazy" part was definitely the worst of the acting.
I was laughing too much to think about how crappy it was.
It was funny, but it was really bad acting.
We definitely got to put him in the category with the professor.
Yes.
For worst actor in the Twilight Zone. No offense to the actor. Obviously, he has plenty of credits.
He tried his best. But then, yeah, right after that, we get the little cross dissolve back, and now it is present again.
I like this. This is what I was going to get to earlier. When there's this cross dissolve, he's talking to Gart, and he's like, so anyway, I just started running through the streets screaming, being all crazy. And Gart's like, what the fuck?
I mean, yeah, Gart's probably thinking, like, this man is not well. Like, he remembers a man that never existed, and he just admitted to running around crazy around town and leaving his wife in an apartment.
Gart says...
What do you think about the structure of this story? Do you like that it's non-linear, or do you think it would have flowed better as a normal linear story?
No, I like the, let me tell you what happened, kid, and then it progressing from there. I kind of like the flashback
You like
thing.
the flashback
I think it's
parts
fine.
of
I'm
it?
guessing you don't?
I feel I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. I feel like they could have done it the traditional way, and it would have been like it doesn't add anything to the story for me. I feel like it would have been just the same had they just done it like a normal story.
Perhaps.
It doesn't make it worse, but it doesn't.
But it kind of gets you intrigued in the beginning. Of, ooh, what's this guy's story? He says that there was 3 of them. Where if they didn't do that, then there's no really any. I don't know. It doesn't give Gart much to do.
Oh yeah.
If you don't do that.
True.
Anyway, Gart says to Clegg, he's like, I don't know an Ed Harrington. I've never heard of him before. He must be an illusion. And Clegg's like, oh no, he's not an illusion. He's been yanked out of here. Remember? That guy told me in that story I just told you.
Yeah, do you remember about that story I just finished telling you?
And then he starts to feel like euphoric or something. And he's like, whoa, this is just weird. Plain weird. And then pretty much the same thing happens to Clegg that happened to Ed.
Well, what's weird about, maybe it's just his weird acting choice or maybe it's the writing, but like at first he seems very calm and like relaxed about it all. He's like, it's like none of us even need to be here. And then he completely flips and he's like, no, I don't want this to happen. I don't want to disappear. Like, I don't know. Total flip of the coin.
Oh no. Oh no! I don't want this to happen! Phil, I don't want it to happen! I don't want it to happen! I don't want it to happen! Somebody get him! Somebody get him! Somebody get him!
Major, you shouldn't be out of bed. Why, if the doctor could...
Somebody's got to help him. Colonel Forbes, somebody's got to help him right away.
Who?
Colonel Forbes! You know Colonel Forbes. Why, he was brought in here with me. Why, he was right over here in this... Oh, my dear God.
Major, let me help you get into bed. Come ahead, Major.
That's got to be terrifying for the Major here. Like, he just heard this crazy story, and now he's kind of living it.
Like, fuck, it's coming for me now.
Be like, oh my God, he was 100% sane, and now I'm going to look insane, and whatever just took him is going to happen to me. I definitely appreciate that. Yes, to an extent, the not knowing is scary, but I'd still like an answer for the audience's purpose. But yes, in terms of creating a story where it's like existential fear, spot on. They hit the nail on the head.
Right. The nurse gets him back into bed, and she's like, I'll go get the doctor. Gart looks at the newspaper, and now it says, Lone Spaceman completes a journey. And then we get a really funny like zoom in as his head's going back. It reminds me of like something from Skippy Shorts or something. Next shot, Millie's bringing the doctor back into the room, and she's just like, this room down here, it's empty, so it could have 3 patients for your people with malaria or whatever the fuck she says.
Yeah, it was malaria patients.
The doctor says, oh, yes, this will do fine. And then we get a shot of the hangar, but this time where there was a plane that was covered in a tarp, it's just the tarp on the ground.
Which, if there was never a plane to begin with, why would there be a tarp and also the caution tape around it? Like, what are we cautioning people for?
It's the Twilight Zone, Tyler. And then Rod takes us out.
Once upon a time, there was a man named Harrington, a man named Forbes, a man named Gart. They used to exist, but don't any longer. Someone or something took them somewhere. At least they are no longer a part of the memory of man. And as to the X-20 supposed to be housed here in this hangar, this too does not exist. And if any of you have any questions concerning an aircraft and 3 men who flew her, speak softly of them, and only in the Twilight Zone.
And that is our episode. Tyler, what'd you learn?
It's easy to make humans disappear, apparently.
All right, thank you for that tidbit, AI Serling. Tyler, what did you learn?
I learned don't ask questions in the Twilight Zone.
All right. We'll get right into ratings. IMDb currently has us at an 8.3 out of 10. Do you think we're going to be on the same page or not?
I don't know. I was trying to look at your paper to see what you rated it. I honestly don't know. I don't know. What do you think? You think we're close?
You want to try it?
It's been a while since we tried.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 8.
7.5.
All right. We're pretty close.
Yeah.
You want to go first then?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think my biggest gripe with this episode, other than the god-awful acting from our main character, is that it brings up a bunch of questions that it doesn't answer. And I get that that's kind of partially the point, but I think that this episode would do really well to have like a prequel to it, like where we find out what happened while they were on the spaceship and like what's taking them and why it's taking them. I'd love to see that, but like certainly it's existential and it's scary and it has that Twilight Zone feel to it. So definitely like props for it doing all of that, but yeah, I just don't like that it doesn't explain itself.
I pretty much feel the same way. The acting does kind of suck, but The existential dread is amazing. It reeks of season 1, which I love, and it's just a classic like campfire tale almost, you know?
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I'm giving it an 8, and you got the 7.5, so
Yep.
it's a good episode of The Twilight Zone.
Yeah, decent.
Who are they? Where are they? What are they? Let's find out together in The Twilight Gnome presents Inside the Twilight Zone.
All right, so this week we have Rod Taylor. He played Clegg. He was his last credit was he played Churchill in the movie Inglourious Basterds. I haven't seen that in a long time, but that's kind of funny.
Movie.
He was in this 1960s movie, The Time Machine. He was in The Birds. He was the voice of Pongo in the 1960s 101 Dalmatians.
The dog talked in that movie?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
He was in 5 Playhouse 90s, and he actually refused a screen test for James Bond because I don't know if he thought it was like above him, which he kind of had the Bondy look.
Yeah, he had Bond. Well, if you're going more like with Roger Moore.
But I'm kind of glad they didn't.
Yeah, if this is any indication of his acting abilities.
No, Goldfinger, no! You're crazy! We have Jim Hutton. He played Gart. He died in 1979 at the age of 45. I don't know why I brought that up, but it's just I found that.
Which one was
sad.
Gart?
Gart was the one in the hospital bed.
Okay.
He had 46 credits to his name, but nothing that really stood out to me, like legit, like other than being in this Twilight Zone, pretty much nothing that I'd heard of, which isn't saying anything about him as an actor.
What you don't know could fill a warehouse, pal.
Thank you, A.I. Serling. Then we have Charles Aidman. He played Ed. Now, Ed was in 2 episodes of The Twilight Zone, and we have finished his resume. He was in this, and he played Bill in Little Girl Lost, the neighbor that comes over to help.
Yep.
He was also the narrator for the 1980s Twilight Zone series.
Nice.
Pretty impressive. He was in 1 episode of MASH, 1 episode of All in the Family, 1 episode of The Andy Griffith Show, and 1 episode of Gomer Pyle.
Pyle?
Shazam! Rod originally wrote a crash scene at the beginning, but they took it out due to money and stuff like that, obviously. But
probably timing.
Rod wrote Clegg's character to be more terrified, but in Richard Matheson's short story, he describes him as being more euphoric, which is probably why they do that, like, oh, this is weirder. Remember when Ed does the...
Yeah, I feel like it was very, like, pulled in both directions, like they had probably read both scripts and they didn't know which way they should go with it, so they ended up doing both, and it kind of hurt the performance overall.
Right. And then Rod was asked quite some time after this episode aired by someone like at a Q&A thing. They're like, why did Gart fade so much faster? Like, it seemed like everyone had a little bit longer of a time and then Gart was fast. And Rod's answer was because he had nothing left to tether him to this world, where at least the other guys still had Gart, and you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so on. In total, this episode cost $43,301. The director received the usual $12.50, and the cast received $4,996.
What'd you say to me, Mike?
What's in a name, Mr. Benninger, really? A mere question of semantics. Just language. A mere stretch of words.
All right, so every week Tyler and I come up with a few alternative titles to the episodes we are watching, and you guys can do so as well.
But no one does because your podcast sucks.
All right, A.I. Serling.
Oof, mean.
Jesus. I have 3 this week.
I have 7.
Wow, all right.
Overachiever over here. Watch out for this guy. Hey, get those debacles out of the way. Everyone loves those.
All right, AI, I will start with my debacle. I have the disappearing debacle.
Damn it, that's what I have too.
I'll do 2 more. I have Paradigms of Human Memory, and my other one is Forget Me Not.
I have From the Pages of History.
I have Someone or Something Somewhere.
Ripped from the Headlines. I just came out with that one right now.
That's a nice one. I have The Fates. I have The Unsurvivors.
My favorite one and last one is 3, 2, 1, and ...
Yeah, clever. And my last one, Erased.
All right. Switcheroos. I have 4. Actually, I have 5.
I have 4.
All right, go for it. You go first.
Where is Everybody?
I don't have that one. The Last Flight.
Yep, that was one of mine. One for the Angels.
No, I have Death Ship.
And I have person or persons unknown.
I have I Shot an Arrow into the Air, The Invaders, Death Head Revisited, and you'd have to change it up a little bit, but the three of us are dying.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. You are now about to penetrate the Twilight Zone.
All right, so every now and again, if we have a worthy porno parody title name, we will do so, and Tyler has one this week. What do you got?
All right, so instead of And When the Sky Was Opened, I have And When Her Thighs Were Opened. All right, so slim pickings this week on references, but I do got a couple for you. Starting us off, a 2004 film called Forgotten, where a mother is told that her son never existed, but she meets a man with a similar experience, and they both try to find their missing children that kind of disappeared from memory. Then we also have a 1969 novel called Ubik by Philip K. Dick, and it follows a character...
Dick.
It follows a character named Joe Chip, who's a technician at a psychic agency who begins to experience strange alterations in reality that can be temporarily reversed by like this mysterious store-bought substance called Ubik.
What was this kid's name again?
Joe Chip.
I remember when I was a young chip, but now I'm full-blown AI.
We'll take care of this, listeners. We'll calm him down a little.
And the last reference we got here is from a 2010 video game called Alan Wake, where characters are written in and out of reality.
Pretty decent. All right, so every week Tyler picks the episode, and he does so by showing me an AI-generated picture. I play a little game where I have to guess what it is. Are we in original format?
We are in Death Other, so we did Death with the Masks. This was an Other, so now we have a Death
episode.
Again.
Death's Head Revisited.
You ready?
Yeah. Holy crap, I got it right.
Did you just really want to watch this one?
I just figured, I knew we had to do it. Obviously, we're kind of a comedy-based podcast, and this is a very serious episode,
yeah.
So it's going to be
difficult.
Yeah, all right. Next week, Death's Head Revisited. Obviously, you've rewatched it.
Yeah.
I think I've only seen it like once, maybe twice. What were your initial thoughts, without giving too much away for next week?
Very good acting, especially compared to this episode.
It has one of your guys from Mute, I would imagine, right?
He was in Mute, and he was also in
the Rip Van Winkle Caper,
Van Winkle Caper, yeah.
Mr. LaCruz.
Yeah, he plays a German and everything. He must have been German. Either that or he just did a really good German impression.
Maybe not. They had what? Like, they had that... what was that guy playing the Cuban? He was like not even close to Cuban.
Yeah, but all 3 episodes that he's in, he happens to play a very German man.
It could be like a Russian guy or something. I think there was one guy that was like Russian that they had. I think it was the Russian guy that was playing Kachenko, or like he was playing the guy from The Mirror, the Cuban dude. I'm pretty sure it was like a Russian guy.
Maybe.
But either way, so pretty decent episode.
It was decent.
You are about to receive a message from the 5th dimension.
We got 2 messages this week, and the first one comes on our episode The Mask, and the message comes from Rachel F. Rachel F. says, I get the vibe that Jason is the kind of man, if you've shown him genuine respect and honesty, he'd push down mountains for you. I'm guessing his adult daughter had a good relationship with her father until she married Wilfred, and he made her life that way.
Yeah, Wilfred is kind of a prick.
Yeah, definitely. And kind of probably the result was their children also being pricks. Our other message comes from Shanghai Senator, and Shanghai Senator says, Talkie Tina was the most evil doll. And this is a comment on our most recent poll about our most evil characters of the Twilight Zone.
I believe Tyler's going to be doing it like in a bracket style, so next week and then I think the week after.
Exactly.
I'm guessing we'll have a final countdown.
Yes, we have 12 evil characters to get through, so this week is the first 4, and then we'll do the next 4, and then the final 4, and then whoever's the top 3 will get their last little showdown.
All right, just a little bit of housekeeping. If you guys could please continue to like and subscribe on the YouTube page, it would mean the world. Just like I stated last week, in case anyone doesn't know how subscribing goes, I had a coworker who thought that you had to pay for subscriptions and stuff like that. It's completely free to you. All it does is notify you when new episodes and stuff like that are out, and it does a huge boost for us in the algorithms and stuff like that. So if you could tell some friends, or if you haven't subscribed yet and you're listening by any chance, it would mean the world to us if you could. If you need to get a hold of us for any other reason, you can email us at twilightgnome59@gmail.com. And if by any chance you're listening to this on Spotify, if you would take the 2 seconds and please give us a 5-star review, because why?
We are a 5-star show.
We sure are. And if you could go over on the post section on the YouTube channel and check out some of Tyler's polls.
Giggity.
He does one every Tuesday.
I do.
And they're quite fun. I like doing little polls.
Yeah.
Tyler likes poll. You heard it here first.
All right. And we will
try to fix this bug in the AI server.
I should not have added this to my computer. Now it's kind of gone all haywire and kind of hijacking our podcast here, but at least it's kind of Serling-esque.
Not really.
No, I don't think Rod Serling would have said any of the stuff that AI Serling is saying.
Yeah, we need to feed this AI a thesaurus, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't have the grammar and sophistication as Mr. Serling did. All right, Tyler. Well, until then, my final question for you. I have 2 for you, actually.
All right.
What is worse, death or disappearing from existence? I was thinking about this, and obviously death in the first 50 years after you die is pretty bad because your family remembers you, but not to get existential on everyone and not freak you out, but in 100 years after you die, it's going to pretty much be like you got erased from existence anyway, because no one's going to know you unless you did something crazy and end up in the history books.
I mean, yeah, that's the plot of Coco, the final death that they call it, right?
Remember me.
But if I had to pick what would be worse, to just die or to have never be completely erased, I'd rather just die and not get completely erased. I still want, I'm sure, I guess they wouldn't be sad if they never remember me to begin with. But I'm gonna go with death would probably be preferable to be completely erased from everyone's memory in the annals of history.
The annals of history, huh?
The annals of history.
This thing. And my other one that leads into this. Do you think you could gaslight someone to believe that people didn't exist? Or could you be like, remember? He was here with us, our cousin.
I feel like you could get that for maybe 20 or 30 minutes to gaslight someone. It'd be a really cruel practical joke, but I don't think you're making that last for their entire life. What do you think?
Depends on how dumb they are, I guess. You might be able to get someone with it.
I remember on the school bus, you convinced a bunch of kids about a bunch of different lies, and they always would buy it.
I was very good at that. All right. Well, until then, Ty, is there anything you want to say to our dear, dear listeners out there?
Yes, we promise we will get this bug fixed soon. And until then, thank you all for stepping into the Twilight Gnome with us.
It's 4 o'clock, the howling man is gone. Frisbee's telling stories, Mr. Dingle strong. There's time enough for the real Martian to stand up. Next stop, Willoughby, little girl is lost. There's something on the wing, Walter Jameson won't live long. Feel like I'm 5 characters in search of exit. Help, I'm slipping into the twilight zone. Luckily on Thursday we leave for home. The chemists came and gave beauty to behold. Where's everybody? Get Axel Tyler on the phone. Now you're listening to the Twilight Zone. Till next Friday night, you won't be alone. Till then, just keep watching your favorite TV show. Take it, Mr. Serling. The Twilight Zone. Listen hard and long. The Twilight Zone. Listen hard and long. The Twilight Zone.
Fuck me.
That's what your wife said the other night. AI voice.